it may be joined, my lord. There is no criminality in 10.1, my lord.
Only because local. All are different matters.
Yes, my lord, I am in 10.2.
are different, but I'll tell you, Lordship, what is the procedure. Here, what has happened is that the preliminary inquiry found that there is not enough substance in prosecuting. The Lokpal sat on the bench and said that we'd like to give issue notice because we filed that we need to hear them. We find there is some substance. So the High Court said that you have prejudged the issue before issuing notice. You could not have prejudged. Lord, I am differing with the preliminary inquiry and I need to give some reason why I want to hear the other side, and then, my lord, after hearing them, decide whether the preliminary inquiry is right or wrong, my lord. So that is the position. The High Court says you could not have done that, you have prejudged the issue. So therefore, my lord, the High Court has quashed that order.
Lord, please see the preliminary inquiry, my lord. There is nothing criminal about it.
To the, my lord, to the respondent public servant. Only a notice was issued to show call and to come and present their case. So the interpretation.
10.1, Lord, I had gone to the public servant, went to the Lokpal.
Nothing is required. It has been paused. So let status quo be maintained. That's about all.
No, Lord, can your lordship just hear me, Lord? In 10.1, the High Court initially didn't grant me an interim order. High Court said you go and represent before the Lokpal. So the public servant went before the Lokpal and explained that here in the complaint there is no criminality mentioned. Even the complaint as required to be filed in law is not filed because there is no offense mentioned at all in the complaint. It's a promotion matter. It's a purely promotion matter, service matter, my lord. So the Lokpal second time also, in spite of the Lord representation before him, still goes ahead with the matter and says that I will hear further. It is at that stage the High Court is finally quashed.
That's why we are not passing any interim order, Mr. Vikasing. We are only now that comprehensively want to explain and lay down the powers of the Lokpal and the areas or might be the statutory restrictions or limitations, whatever are there. We just would like to lay down that. Otherwise, in para 29 is only discretion of the Lokpal. If any action taken against you, you will be entitled to.
No, there is no action taken against us. Nothing.
No action taken so far, and probably they will not take also.
The fact that they filed the appeal is, Lord, I don't know why they filed the appeal, but in any case, if your lordship was simply examining the issue, Lord, I can't have any objection.
In the beginning, we have come here for an interpretation by your lordship, Lord, so that for the future it is concluded that how the procedure as prescribed has been correctly done or not done. I went here from the beginning, Lord. And
only one request.
There was no criminality involved.
Are you accepting notice on behalf of 1, 2, 3, all the three?
Please, Lord.
Lord, only one small request, my lord. Since he is the present defense secretary now, the respondent number 1, your lordship should indicate that your lordships are not examining the facts, because otherwise it will give a wrong, Lord. It gives
I join my learned friend, my lord. It would have a ramification. Your lordships may say only on interpretation.
Only on interpretation.
Notice is being issued in this case only for the limited purpose of interpreting.
Section 20. Surplus 2 and 3.
Actually, your lordship can decide it in the other matter. This can go ahead. This can be dismissed also.
$250 ml 7-Up?
হে অনু, তোমার হাতটা দেখাও। আজ তুমি যাই চাও না কেন তার থেকেও বেশি কিছু পাবে।
400 ml এখন 20 টাকায়?
Icy Cool 7-Up
বলেছিলাম না?
now 400 milliliters at 20 rupees.
My lord, that while granting promotion, people who are 15-20 years junior were superseded, my lord, and that's how the departmental promotion committee was held, and that's how he, my lord, as secretary DOPT or DPIIT, my lord, that department, my lord, he approved that and said, no, this is the way it should be done. So
It was a crime. It may be wrong.
I was not even the secretary.
Today I am not saying that I want to proceed or anything. I want an interpretation from your lordships on the 23A power, whether I was required to give some reason for the purpose of going against the preliminary investigation and find out, my lord, that from the person who has been called, my lord, the RPS, So that's the nature of my petition.
Can I just make one line submission, Lord? In this case, I was not even the secretary when the promotions happened. I was a secretary when somebody, Lord, made a complaint, and I
Since the notice is being issued only to determine the scope of powers exercisable by the then Lokpal
Petitioner.
within the statutory framework,
Please.
comma, this order shall not be construed as a permission by this court to proceed against this Burma.
Now,
Only one small request, my lord.
Status quo, my lord, because the records are required to be kept, my lord, under the act. So therefore, status quo only, that's all.
How the status quo should be maintained.
Please.
only for record, only for record,
For
Yes,
record.
only for record purposes,
Preservation of the record. Preservation of the record.
Preservation of the-
only for preservation.
Lordship.
My lord,
now
your
10.2
lordship's, my
very
lord, a
different
small
facts.
request. A small
10.2
request, my
very-
lord. My lord, if your lordships can consider joining Union of India as a party, it's an interpretation issue. Here in the second matter, even CBI is not a party, my lord.
That's it. Oh, only CBI is party.
They,
CBI is also not a party in the second
they
matter.
only made Lokpal a party. Lokpal was heard, my lord, by through council.
That's okay, that's okay. I'm not complaining that why.
In the High Court, the writ petition was filed only against the Lokpal.
I
They neither
understand
made
it's not
CBI
your fault, Mr.
preliminary
Ranjit.
investigation or the Union of India a party.
Usme we can say like this, that
That's entirely for your lordship, my lord.
keeping in view the importance of the issue involved, we
Please.
deem it appropriate to include Union of India through the
It would
through
be,
the Secretary Department of Personnel.
no, my lord, actually, this Lokpal is under the Ministry of Justice and DOPT both, my
Through
lord.
the Secretary
So therefore,
of Law and Justice.
That's how I have understood. I may be wrong, my lord. I don't know. The learned SG would know better.
Mr. Marudia will accept notice on behalf of Union of India also in both the cases.
Please,
Then we also, we request Learned Attorney General for India and Learned Solicitor of India to assist.
I am appearing, my lord. Learned attorney may have some conflict, my lord. I'll be appearing.
Learned Solicitor of India will assist the court.
Yes.
Item 10.2.
Yes,
Would
no, no, it is
very
10.2.
different
Let me explain what happened, my lord. In the,
You should understand.
no, then, my lord, if your lordship don't want to know the facts just now, my lord,
No,
lordship,
actually that this person was not named in the complaint.
Yes, my lord.
yes.
No, he was named in the complaint, yet no notice.
सर आपका ब्रीफ पढ़ के आए हैं हमें थोड़ा हमें अपनी सैलरी जस्टिफाई करनी है.
My lord, during the course of investigation, he was found to be the beneficiary of the misdeed, my lord, and therefore, my lord, a notice, he was,
But then you can't pass some order against someone without.
no, my lord, the order was passed against the others also and him also, but it was an order to be passed under section 20 subsection because the investigating agency found his involvement.
You
Now-
need not to. And he is a small level employee.
But he was the chief locomotive inspector,
Driver of the train, that's all.
chief locomotive inspector now. And only, what happened, my lord, I am just telling you. So for the purpose, my lord, what happened, my friend's case is, the High Court has said you go back and start from the preliminary inquiry stage of hearing him. So, my lord, that preliminary inquiry and a further inquiry is not necessitated because what will they do now, my lord, after having come to a conclusion? So, therefore, my lord, on this aspect, we have come here, my lord, that to say to go back. Supposing, my lord, an accused is fined during the course of inquiry.
Case where the complainant does not implicate him, the investigating agency does not.
He was named as a
Only you
beneficiary.
want to prosecute him.
Investigating agency found him. He was made in the FIR. Can you see the FIR? No? He was respondent number, accused number 6 in the FIR.
No, initially there was nothing was found against him.
No,
It
my lord,
only
it
with
was
your
not.
intervention that.
Something was found, Lord, the OMR sheets. My lord, the OMR sheets between the carbon copy, the CFSL
What
report.
is the date of the FIR?
The date of the FIR, my lord, is at page number 98, 11/3/2025.
Exactly. Before that, you passed an adverse order against him on 21st February 25. That's why CBI registered FIR.
Not pass an adverse order against him.
Hmm.
Because that was a preliminary order for the purpose of under section 20 subsection 3 for the purpose of investigation. The High Court says you did not hear him at that stage. At that stage, my lord, I did not hear him because, my lord, in the complaint, in part C, my lord, under the rules, there is a part C. In part C, you have to name who are the persons. 5 officers were named. He was not.
आग की आंच पे उलट पुलट नाचता गुलट सुलट ठुमकता इस मटकते चिकन पे जब गिरेगा बटर तो हो जाएगा ये चटर पटर। और इसकी सौंधी खुशबू से बॉस को एहसास होगा कि ऑफिस के बाहर भी मिलते रहना चाहिए। तो मिलते रहो, क्योंकि मिलने की भूख अच्छी भूख है।
Page 98.
If tomorrow the CBI finds any incriminating material against him and they come to you to seek necessary permission, you may do so. But today he is being implicated only because of on the misinterpretation or in purported compliance of an order passed by you.
No, with all due respect, Milord, in the preliminary order, it is not said so. Preliminary order only passed, Milord, under section 20, subsection 3 was, after hearing those public servants and the competent authority, that you
Read your order of 11th February. Please read your order of 11th February.
Yes, Milord. Please, Milord, kindly come to page number 83, Milord. It's also extracted in the judgment. If your Lordship like to read that, Milord, at page number 9.
If you come to page 99, the FIR,
Yes, Milord.
see the opening line itself,
Yes, Milord.
para 12.
Yes, Milord. 12, Milord. The Honorable Lokpal of India, by order dated in complaint number so and so made before it has directed CBI to conduct investigation. In the said order, the Honorable Lokpal of India has also directed to keep the identity of the complainant and the RPS, respondent public servant, confidential as per the provisions of such and such. A copy of the order dated so and so is enclosed herewith. Therefore, in compliance of the directions of the Honorable Lokpal of India, a regular case is registered against so and so, so and so. And in that, Milord, in serial number 6, on the next page, 100, Milord, line 5, dot, 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 designation Chief Loco Inspector for the offences under so and so. Now, he is the beneficiary of the OMR sheets, which are manipulated as per the CFSL report, which came out in the investigation conducted, Milord, and thereafter the report was filed. When the matter came at the stage of 20, subsection 7, the notice was issued. He challenged it on the ground.
Now
He
comes
submitted his reply also.
Now comes to page 88 of your order.
Page 88. Please.
Para 9,
Para 9, Lord.
you heard one XYZ.
Sorry, Lord.
In para 89 and 9,
Yes.
you have heard one XYZ.
Yeah, Lord, we heard all of the 5.
Ah.
All the 5.
Not him. And the directions ultimately apply to him also. If tomorrow you can hear and pass an order.
No, Milord, I don't mind, Milord, hearing him now. If your Lordship, Milord, say so. But what I am respectfully submitting is whether, Milord, any fruitful purpose would be served for a re-investigation of the entire inquiry once again after hearing him. Because it is, Milord, suppose I ask myself this question, Milord, if your Lordship permit me, that if during the course of an inquiry, an activity is found, Lord, I have
20 plus 7 stage. You have given him hearing.
no, I have called him
23
for.
you have not been heard.
He has replied.
Malot,
He replied to that also, and he simultaneously filed a petition in the High
All
Court.
right, now you hear him at 20 clause 7 stage.
Yes, that is the order, Milord, no other
That
thing.
is the order of the High Court also.
No, High Court doesn't know. High Court said.
High Court goes to 20
You
clause
go to
3.
20 subsection 3.
FIR se karo.
If your Lordship see the direction.
That's an impractical order.
Malot, please have a look at Malot.
That is an impractical. All these niceties have no meaning.
I bow down, Malot.
If you
There
lordship,
will not be multiple FIRs.
My lords are right.
So the FIR has merged into an investigation report.
My lords.
And once such a situation has come,
My lords.
20 clause 7 hearing, we will consider as a post-decisional hearing
My lords are right.
for the FIR
My lords are right.
and a pre-decisional hearing for filing of the police
My lords,
report.
just have a look at
That's
page-
still all. But
page
to-
22, para 35, my lords. Please have a look at it. My lords, very different facts.
I am with reference to.
Because other cases involve, my lords, 20 subclause 7. Now, here is a case, my lords. There were 5 persons. They were given notices under 20 subclause
That's why I
3.
pointed out, page 88 to
Yes, my lords,
99,
my lords,
each one of them when heard.
my lords.
That was 23.
That
right?
is pre,
That was 23
my lords.
hearing, which was not accorded to you.
Yes.
Now you are being heard only at the stage of 27.
Yes.
To be heard, my lord.
To be heard.
Notice has
In
been got.
20, because 23 now practically not possible. FIR has already been registered.
But my lords, against others. But maybe if I am given that opportunity,
FIR is registered against an accused or an offence, sir.
my lords are right. But my lords, my lords, please have a look at para
Will
35.
it be every time
No.
a new accused comes, a new FIR will be registered?
My lords, not like that. My lords, maybe, my
You
lords,
are
purpose.
interpreting like that.
My lord, there is pre-stage, there is post-stage. Now, this is a case where there is a violation of
We
pre-stage.
will not apply the law with our eyes folded.
No,
We will apply the law in a pragmatic manner where your rights are not affected. At the same time, the carriage of proceedings do not become an absurdity.
my lords,
You're creating an absurdity.
now, my lords, may I respond to this? My lords, just may I respond to
The
this?
situation
Just-
will create complication for you as well as for.
My lords, I appreciate. Now, my lords, may I respond to that, my lords?
Right?
Please.
Because every time this will happen. sir.
No. If I may respond to that, allow me to respond to that, my lord, just 2 paragraphs of the High Court order, my lord, because my cases. Now, my lord, the
We'll give
scheme,
you an example
My
which
lord.
will help you to respond.
my lords,
An FIR proposal is before the Lokpal saying a corruption ring has been unearthed in preliminary inquiry. A, B, C and unknown others
yes, my lord,
are involved.
yes, my lord,
Lokpal gives notice to A, B, C.
my lord,
Unknown others, Lokpal is also not clear.
my lord.
Investigation commences. Materials transpired disclosing the identity of these unknown others.
My lords.
Is it your case that the Lokpal again goes back to 20 clause 3, gives notice to those unknown others identified now, and if separate investigation and FIR commences? This will
My
be
lords.
against the entire tenor of.
My lords, I appreciate what is falling. I appreciate. But my lord, the very purpose of subclause 3 in this case is that if I had given an explanation and if the Lokpal is satisfied,
Give the
then maybe the
explanation now.
proceedings are dropped against me
Give the
there.
explanation
That is a
now.
very
The
important
Lokpal
stage for
can
me.
close the case. You can't even plead this argument because it is not a case where 23 benefit has gone to your co-accused. Their stand under 23 has been rejected. They are facing trial.
My lords, one fact. No, my lord, that's not the case. There were 5 given. Only one has been, only against one FIR has been registered. Only against one, 4 have been dropped. Now, my lord, had that opportunity been given? Because, my lords, in the scheme of the act, that is why, my lords, I am beseeching, my lords, please have a look at 35. And now, my lords, what is the direction in this case? My lords, please have a look at page 30 to answer what was falling from Justice Bhakti, my lords. Yes, he can give me notice. I may convince him that you don't have to proceed. That's an important stage.
Go and convince. We are adding something in your favor. Being heard London Senior Counsel on behalf of the appellant Lokpal and then counsel for the respondent. We modify para 48 of the improved judgment dated 14th November 2025 passed by the Delhi High Court. To the extent that the learned Lokpal shall accord an opportunity of hearing to the respondent
My lords.
in terms of section 20 in bracket 7 of
3.
Lokpal Act. So since the respondent was
Which
Could not
notice has
be.
already
But-
gone, my lord, and he is replied.
My lords,
And he has to be heard only now.
no, my lords, with respect.
Gone to him, He has replied to it, then filed the writ petition.
So
He is only
we are saying only a hearing only to be quoted.
Only has to
No,
go on.
my lords, with respect, then my lords, this is,
Then it's what
that-
I can't do it.
Since the respondent was not, could not be heard at the stage of 20(3), so he shall be at liberty to raise all the
no,
contentions
my lords, with respect.
which were available, which
My lords,
could be available
In that case,
under 23 of the Lokpal Act. We request the land Lokpal to consider all such orals, all such submissions that may be made by the
my
respondent
lords,
during the course of hearing.
my lords, with respect, my lords, just consider this, my lords, just consider this, my lords.
If you are
Now-
not considering what we can do, there is no other way out.
27, my lords, the point is that there is, my lords, I have to go back to 20 subclause 3 stage.
Yeah.
Now, my lords, what is happening is, then, my lords, let me accept notice, I will assist, my lords, because, my lords, I will show the facts. Let me accept notice, and then, my lords, let me assist, my lords, because, my lords, other cases involve 20 subclause 7, which is a post stage.
Please.
Now, in the pre-stage, my lords, how can I be, now pre-stage, they have not heard me before registration,
Yeah.
because other 4 have been dropped.
Of this act that prima facie corrupt people are now taking undue advantage.
My lord,
And
with
with
respect.
simple state law,
My lords,
they have arrested by now.
my lords, with these kind of consequences, my lord, these kind of penal consequences, registration of FIR, I'm at least entitled, my lord. This request, my lords, I accept notice, then let me assist, my lords. Because, my lord, this is against me. At 20 subclause 7 is a different stage. 20 subclause 6 is a different stage.
In
My
that-
lords will interpret it.
What will happen in that event, we will stay operation of the order and you will be arrested
No.
immediately.
My
Because
lord-
there is an FIR against you under the.
My lords are
Act.
putting that, my lords are putting me towards very tough situation, I appreciate.
Consequences.
My lords, I
The
appreciate.
moment
But,
we
my
stay-
lords,
Today, if you stay operation of the judgment, you will have.
my lord, the liberty has been
to
given.
arrest you.
They can start, my lords, because other 4 have been dropped at the pre-stage, my
That
lord.
is why you will take this plea now before.
Hmm?
We have said all ground available 23 also you will be entitled to raise.
But, my lords, the procedural safeguards, my lord, 20 subclause 3, kindly
You
have a
want to
look at
create an
forum
impossible
movement, my lords.
situation.
Please
And
have a
you
look at
can't
it.
be you can't be prosecuted now because of the technical.
No, my lord, I bow down, my lords. I bow down.
If complainant will come before us, we will direct to register the FIR immediately, dispense with the all protection under the PC Act.
My lords, against me, there is
Every
nothing.
person will come to the court and say, no, I am entitled to like this.
My lords, against me, there is nothing. But please have a look at page
We are not
24.
saying that, sir.
Sir,
That's why we said you will be heard.
Your rights are fully protected. Lokpal has ample power to direct closure.
My lords.
So if Lokpal has power to create closure, then
Yes.
where is the question of prejudice? We are testing principles of natural justice in procedural law. So
My
we'll
lord-
test it on the anvil of prejudice.
My lords.
On the other hand, your argument becomes completely absurd under the scheme of investigation as envisaged under ordinary law.
My lords will kindly have a look at 20 subclause 1 and 20 subclause 3, my lords.
We have.
And my lords, now this is my lords, because at this stage, as my lord pleases, as my lord.
Grateful. Much obliged. Maybe-
Obliged to your lordship.
16th February, Lordster issued notice returnable on 23rd March in some other matters. I'm just one.